കൗൺസിലിംഗ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ കുട്ടികൾക്ക് കരിയർ കൗൺസിലിംഗ് കൊടുക്കുന്ന പ്രഗത്ഭനായ സെബാസ്റ്റ്യൻ സാർ ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ കൂട്ടത്തിലുണ്ട്. നമ്മുടെ ഒഫീഷ്യൽ പ്രോഗ്രാമിന് മുമ്പ് സെബാസ്റ്റ്യൻ സാർ നിങ്ങളോട് സംസാരിക്കും. നിങ്ങളുടെ സംശയങ്ങൾ ചോദിക്കാനായിട്ടുള്ള അവസരം ഉണ്ടാകും. ഇന്നത്തെ ദിവസം ഇത്തരത്തിലുള്ള ഇൻട്രാക്ഷൻസും അതിനുശേഷം സെഷൻസും അതിനുശേഷം മുകളിൽ നമ്മുടെ ഡെലിഗേറ്റ്സുമായിട്ടുള്ള ഇൻട്രാക്ഷനുമാണ് ഇന്നത്തെ ഹൈലൈറ്റ്സ് നിങ്ങൾക്കറിയാമല്ലോ. അപ്പോൾ അതുകൊണ്ട് ഈ സെഷൻസ് നിങ്ങൾ വിജയപ്രദമായി ഉപയോഗിക്കും എന്ന് ഞാൻ പ്രതീക്ഷിക്കുന്നു. എല്ലാവരുടെയും അനുവാദത്തോടെ ഞാൻ സുഭാഷ് സാറിനെ വേദിയിലേക്ക് സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യും.
Good morning all. A warm good morning. എൻ്റെ പേര് സെബാസ്റ്റ്യൻ ആൻ്റണി. ഞാനൊരു കരിയർ മെൻറ്ററാണ്, പ്ലസ് അക്കാഡമിക് കോർഡിനേറ്റർ കൂടെയാണ്. വിദേശ രാജ്യങ്ങളിലുള്ള യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റികൾ അതുപോലെ കോളേജുകൾ ഇന്ത്യയിൽ പരിചയപ്പെടുത്തുകയും അവരുമായിട്ട് ട്രെയിനിങ് പ്രോഗ്രാം കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ടാവില്ല നിങ്ങൾ, NEP നാഷണൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ പോളിസിയുടെ ഭാഗമായിട്ട് NEP ട്രെയിനിങ് പ്രോഗ്രാമുകൾ, സ്റ്റുഡൻറ്റ് എക്സ്ചേഞ്ച്, ഫാക്കൽറ്റി എക്സ്ചേഞ്ച്, ഇതുപോലെയുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ ആണ് എൻ്റെ തൊഴിൽ മേഖല. കഴിഞ്ഞ 17 വർഷമായി ഞാൻ ഈ ഇൻഡസ്ട്രിയിൽ വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നു. നിങ്ങളിങ്ങനെയുള്ളൊരു തൊഴിൽ മേഖലയെക്കുറിച്ച് കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ടോ? കേട്ടിട്ടില്ല. വളരെ കളർഫുള്ളായിട്ടുള്ളൊരു തൊഴിൽ മേഖലയാണ് ഇത്. പക്ഷേ ഇത്രയേ ഉള്ളൂ, ഹാർഡ് വർക്ക് വേണം. അപ്ഡേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് പോകണം. ഓരോ രാജ്യങ്ങളുടെയും സ്റ്റുഡൻറ്റ് വീസ, പെർമനൻറ്റ് റെസിഡൻസി, വർക്ക് പെർമിറ്റ്, ഇതുപോലെ ഓരോ രാജ്യങ്ങളും ഓരോ 8-9 മാസം കൂടുമ്പോൾ അവരുടെ നിയമങ്ങൾ റിവൈസ് ചെയ്യുകയാണ്. മൈഗ്രേഷൻ പോളിസികൾ അവർ റിവൈസ് ചെയ്യുകയാണ്. എക്സാമ്പിൾ ഇപ്പോൾ കാനഡയിൽ നിങ്ങൾ കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ടാകും. അപ്പം ഇത് പഠിക്കുക എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് പുതിയൊരു ജനറേഷനെ സംബന്ധിച്ച് ഒരു ടാസ്ക്കാണ്. പക്ഷേ ഇൻ കേസ് നിങ്ങളിത് പഠിച്ചാൽ ലോകം മുഴുവനും നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഫ്ലൈ ചെയ്യാം. ഒന്ന്, വളരെ കളർഫുള്ളായിട്ടുള്ളൊരു ലൈഫാണ് ഈ ഒരു ഇൻഡസ്ട്രിയിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ഉള്ളത്. ഞാനിപ്പോൾ എൻ്റെ ഒരു എൻ്റെ പ്രൊഫഷനാണ് ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞത്. ഇവിടെ ഇന്ന് നടക്കുന്നത് ചൂസ് ഫ്രാൻസ് ടൂർ. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പം ചൂസ് ഫ്രാൻസ് ടൂർ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഫ്രഞ്ച് എംബസി ഡയറക്റ്റ് ഹോസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു പ്രോഗ്രാമാണ്. കേരളത്തിൽ ആദ്യമായിട്ടാണ് ചൂസ് ഫ്രാൻസ് ടൂർ എന്ന് പറയുന്ന റീജിയണൽ സേഫ്റ്റി കേരളത്തിൽ ആദ്യമായിട്ടാണ്. ഇപ്പം കോഴിക്കോട്, തിരുവമ്പാടി, വെസ്റ്റേൺ ഗാർഡ്സ് വളരെ ചുരുങ്ങിയ ഒരു കാലം കൊണ്ട് തന്നെ സെൻറ്റ് അൽഫോൺസ കോളേജ് പേരും പ്രശസ്തിയും നേടിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ നാക്ക്, അതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ ഇപ്പോൾ ഇന്ന് CFT, ഇപ്പോൾ കേരളത്തിൽ ആദ്യമായിട്ട് CFT നടത്തുന്നത് റൂറൽ ഏരിയയിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ്. ഇന്ന് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ഇവിടെ വരുന്നത് ഫ്രഞ്ച് എംബസിയുടെ അറ്റാഷെ, കോൺസുൽ ജനറൽ, അതുപോലെ 4 സംസ്ഥാനങ്ങളുടെ ക്യാമ്പസ് ഫ്രാൻസിൻ്റെ മാനേജർമാർ, അലയൻസ് ഫ്രാൻസിൻ്റെ ഡയറക്ടർ, കോഴ്സ് കോർഡിനേറ്റർ, ഇവരൊക്കെയാണ് നിങ്ങളിന്ന് ഇവിടെ മീറ്റ് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് പോകുന്നത്. നിങ്ങളിന്ന് നിങ്ങളുടെ ഡ്യൂട്ടി എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് നിങ്ങളുടെ കുട്ടികൾ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾ നാളെ ആരാകണം, എവിടെ പഠിക്കുമ്പോഴാണ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റീസ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കൂടുതൽ ഉണ്ടാകുക. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഫ്രഞ്ച് ഗവൺമെൻറ് പ്രൊവൈഡ് ചെയ്യുന്ന 500 ഡിഫറെൻറ്റ് ടൈപ്സ് സ്കോളർഷിപ്പുകളുണ്ട്. ആ രാജ്യം കൊടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. 14 കോടി രൂപയാണ് ഒരു വർഷം അവർ പ്രൊവൈഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് ഇന്ത്യൻ സ്റ്റുഡൻസിന് വേണ്ടി മാത്രം. 2 year സ്റ്റേ ബാക്ക് ആണ് ആ രാജ്യം കൊടുക്കുന്നത് ഇന്ത്യൻ സ്റ്റുഡൻസിന് വേണ്ടി മാത്രം. 5 year ഷോർട്ട് സ്റ്റേ വീസ, അലൂമിനി സർക്കുലേഷൻ വീസ ഇന്ത്യൻ സ്റ്റുഡൻസിന് വേണ്ടി മാത്രം. അപ് ടു 40 CR 40 കോടി രൂപ വരെയാണ് അവരൊരു ഓൺട്രപ്രണർഷിപ്പ്. നിങ്ങൾക്കൊരു ഐഡിയ ഉണ്ട് എന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ആ ഐഡിയ ഇംപ്ലിമെന്റ് ചെയ്യുകയാണ് എന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ആ പ്രൊജക്റ്റ് ആ രാജ്യം അംഗീകരിച്ചാൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കിട്ടുക 40 CR ആണ്, 40 കോടി രൂപ. അപ്പോൾ ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരുപാട് കാര്യങ്ങളാണ് ഫ്രഞ്ച് ഗവൺമെൻറ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ഒരുക്കിയിരിക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ ഇതിനെക്കുറിച്ചുള്ള ഒരു ഇൻട്രാക്ഷനാണ് ഇവിടെ ഇന്ന് നടക്കുക. ഇവനിപ്പോൾ PhD, ഒരുപാട് പേര് PhD കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഉള്ളവരുണ്ട് നമ്മുടെ നാട്ടിലൊക്കെ. അപ്പോൾ ഇവർക്ക് ലോകം മുഴുവനും പഠിപ്പിക്കാനായിട്ടൊരു ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റി ഉണ്ട്. ഒരുപക്ഷെ അവർ പോലും ഇത് അറിഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ടാവില്ല. എനിക്കറിയാവുന്ന ഒരുപാട് പേര് ഫ്രാൻസിൽ 3 മാസം പഠിപ്പിക്കും, 2 മാസം സ്വീഡനിൽ പഠിപ്പിക്കും, 6 മാസം ഫിൻലൻഡിൽ പഠിപ്പിക്കും, പിന്നെയും വന്ന് 2 മാസം കേരളത്തിലോ ഇന്ത്യയിലോ മറ്റു ടോപ്പ് റാങ്ക്ഡ് യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റികളിൽ പഠിപ്പിക്കുന്നു. ഇങ്ങനെ വളരെ കളർഫുള്ളായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു മേഖലയുണ്ട് ഈ ഇൻഡസ്ട്രി. നമ്മളൊരു മെഡിക്കൽ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് മാത്രമാണ് കേട്ടിട്ടുള്ളത്. അത്രയും ഒരു ഹാർഡ് ടാസ്ക്കാണ് ഈ ഇൻഡസ്ട്രിയൊക്കെ. അപ്പോൾ വളരെ സോഫ്റ്റായിട്ട് നമുക്ക് പഠിച്ച് വന്ന് ഈ ഒരു ലോകം എക്സ്പ്ലോർ ചെയ്യാനായിട്ടുള്ള ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റിയാണ് ഇന്ന് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ഇവിടെ ഒരുക്കിയിരിക്കുന്നത് ഈ സെൻറ്റ് അൽഫോൺസ കോളേജ്. ഒരു രാജ്യമാണ് നിങ്ങളുടെ മുന്നിലേക്ക് എത്തിയിരിക്കുന്നത്. ഒരു രാജ്യത്തിൻ്റെ എംബസിയാണ് നിങ്ങളുടെ മുന്നിലേക്ക് എത്തിയിരിക്കുന്നത്. അവരിലൂടെ അല്ലാതെ ആർക്കും ഇന്ന് വിദേശത്തേക്ക് പോകാനായിട്ട് സാധിക്കില്ല. അപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾ അവരോട് ചോദിക്കേണ്ട ചോദ്യങ്ങൾ, സെറ്റ് ഓഫ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് നിങ്ങൾ സെറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് വെക്കുക, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് നിങ്ങളുടെ കുട്ടികൾക്ക് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടൊക്കെ സെറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് വെക്കുക. അപ്പോൾ ഇങ്ങനെ ഓരോ കാര്യങ്ങളിലും നിങ്ങൾക്കൊരു ക്ലാരിറ്റി വരട്ടെ എന്ന് ഞാൻ ആശംസിക്കുന്നു. ഇനി ഡിഫറെൻറ്റ് ടൈപ്സ് യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റികൾ നിങ്ങൾക്കറിയാം. 1700-ലധികം ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് തോട്ട് പ്രോഗ്രാംസ് ഉണ്ട് ഫ്രാൻസിൽ. നിങ്ങളുടെ അക്കോമഡേഷൻ സബ്സിഡി അപ് ടു 50%. അപ്പോൾ ഫ്രീ ട്രാവൽ അലവൻസ്. അപ്പം ഇതെല്ലാം കൊടുക്കുന്ന ഒരു രാജ്യമാണ്. നമ്മൾ എന്താണ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്? ആ രാജ്യത്ത് ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു ടോപ്പ് റാങ്ക്ഡ് ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂഷൻ എടുക്കുക. ലോകത്ത് നിങ്ങൾക്കറിയാമോ, ലോകത്ത് 1% മാത്രമാണ് ട്രിപ്പിൾ അക്രഡിറ്റേഷൻ ഉള്ളത്. ട്രിപ്പിൾ അക്രഡിറ്റേഷൻ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ കേരളത്തിൽ ഒരു സ്ഥാപനത്തിനുമില്ല. അപ്പോൾ ലോകത്ത് ഒരേ 1% മാത്രമാണ്. ഇപ്പം 100 സ്കൂളുകളുണ്ട് എന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അതിൻ്റെ 1% മാത്രമാണ് ട്രിപ്പിൾ അക്രഡിറ്റേഷൻ ഉള്ളത്. അങ്ങനെ 4 ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂഷൻ ഇന്ന് നിങ്ങളുടെ മുന്നിൽ ഇവിടെയുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ഒരു ട്രിപ്പിൾ അക്രഡിറ്റഡ് കോളേജിൽ പഠിക്കുമ്പോൾ ഉണ്ടാകുന്ന ബെനിഫിറ്റ്സ് എന്താണെന്ന് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് സങ്കല്പിക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല. കാരണം IIM നിങ്ങൾ കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ടാവും, ഇന്ത്യൻ ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ട് ഓഫ് ടെക്നോളജി, ഇന്ത്യൻ ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ട് ഓഫ് മാനേജ്മെൻറ്റ്. ഇവരാരെങ്കിലും ജോലി അന്വേഷിച്ച് നടക്കുന്നതായിട്ട് നിങ്ങൾക്കറിയാമോ? ഞാൻ 7 വർഷം മുമ്പ് IIT-യിലെ ഒരു ഫാക്കൽറ്റീനെ ഒരു കോളേജിൽ പോസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്തപ്പോൾ 1,75,000 രൂപയായിരുന്നു അന്ന് അവരുടെ സാലറി. റിട്ടയർഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ളൊരു പേഴ്സണാണ് അദ്ദേഹം. ഒന്ന് ചിന്തിച്ചു നോക്കുക. റിട്ടയർമെൻറ്റ് കഴിഞ്ഞതിന് ശേഷം നമ്മൾ വേറൊരു കോളേജിൽ അദ്ദേഹത്തെ പോസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്തപ്പോൾ അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ സാലറി 1.25 ലക്ഷം രൂപയാണ്. നിങ്ങൾ ചിന്തിക്കേണ്ട ഒരു കാര്യമാണ്. ഇതാണ് IIT IIM. അതിന് മുകളിലാണ് ട്രിപ്പിൾ അക്രഡിറ്റഡ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. അപ്പം നമ്മൾ അവിടെയൊക്കെ പഠിക്കാൻ ചെല്ലുമ്പോൾ തന്നെ നമ്മളെ സ്കെച്ച് ചെയ്യും. അപ്പം അങ്ങനെയുള്ള കോളേജുകൾ, യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റികളാണ് നിങ്ങളുടെ മുന്നിലുള്ളത്. ഈവൻ പബ്ലിക് യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റീസിൽ 50,000 രൂപയാണ് ട്യൂഷൻ ഫീസ്. ലോകത്തെ ടോപ്പ് റാങ്ക്ഡ് 100-ലും 200-ലും ഒക്കെ വേൾഡ് റാങ്കിങ്ങിൽ, US വേൾഡ് റാങ്കിങ്ങിലോ വെബോമെട്രിക്സിലോ ഒക്കെ 100-ലും 200-ലും ഒക്കെ വരുന്ന യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റിയിലാണ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് പഠിക്കാനായിട്ട് പറ്റുക. അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ വരുമ്പോൾ നിങ്ങളുടെ റേഞ്ച് എന്താകും? നിങ്ങളുടെ കുട്ടികളുടെ റേഞ്ച് എന്താകും? ആ ഒരു ലൈഫ് അത് കളറാക്കണം, ഫ്യൂച്ചർ ഡിസൈൻ ചെയ്യണം എന്ന് നിങ്ങൾ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അത് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ളതാണ് ഈ ഒരു CFT ചൂസ് ഫ്രാൻസ് ടൂർ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പം നമുക്ക് ഇവിടെ ഇനാഗ്രൽ സെക്ഷൻ ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ഇനാഗ്രൽ സെറിമണി കഴിഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് രജിസ്ട്രേഷൻ കൗണ്ടർ ഓപ്പൺ ആണ്. അവിടെ നിന്നൊരു ടോക്കൺ കിട്ടും. ആ ടോക്കണുമായിട്ട് നിങ്ങൾക്ക്, ഇതെല്ലാം ഓൺലൈനാണ്. നിങ്ങൾ രജിസ്റ്റർ ചെയ്യാത്തവരുണ്ടോ ഇവിടെ? ഓൺലൈൻ രജിസ്റ്റർ ചെയ്യാത്തവരുണ്ടോ? ഓൾമോസ്റ്റ് ഉണ്ട്, ഇല്ലെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നല്ലേ? ഓക്കെ, അപ്പോൾ ഗുഡ്. അപ്പം നിങ്ങൾ ഇനിയിപ്പോൾ ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല എങ്കിൽ ഈ ഒരു QR കോഡ് സ്കാൻ ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അത് ഡയറക്റ്റ് ഫ്രഞ്ച് എംബസിയിലേക്കാണ് നിങ്ങളുടെ ഇത് പോകുക. ഡയറക്റ്റ് ഫ്രഞ്ച് എംബസിയാണ്. ഒരു മീഡിയേറ്റേഴ്സും ഇല്ല. അപ്പോൾ ഇതിനു മുൻപ് നിങ്ങൾ കേട്ടിരിക്കുന്നതും കണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നതും ഒക്കെ ഏതെങ്കിലും എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ ഫെയേഴ്സുകൾ ഏതെങ്കിലും കൺസൾട്ടൻ്റ് നടത്തുന്നതായിരിക്കും. ഇതൊരു രാജ്യം ഡയറക്റ്റാണ് ഹോസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ അതുകൊണ്ട് നിങ്ങളുടെ ഡാറ്റ അത് സേഫ് ആയിരിക്കും. ഒന്ന്, നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കിട്ടുന്ന ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ അത് ഫസ്റ്റ് ഹാൻഡ് ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ ആയിരിക്കും. അതുപോലെ ഈ പറയുന്ന ഏത് കാര്യത്തിലായാലും നിങ്ങളുടെ ക്വാറിക്ക്. അപ്പം എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു ആ ഒരു സെഷനിലേക്ക് കുറച്ച് സമയം കൂടി ഉള്ളതെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു. എന്തെങ്കിലും ഡൗട്ട്സ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ചോദിക്കാനായിട്ടുണ്ടോ? ഈവൻ ഇപ്പോൾ ഫ്രാൻസിൽ BSc നഴ്സിംഗ്, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ MBBS ഇതൊഴിച്ച് ബാക്കി ഒട്ടുമിക്ക കോഴ്സുകൾക്കും ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റി ഉണ്ട്. ഒരു സംശയവുമില്ല. കാരണം MBBS-ഉം അതുപോലെ BSc നഴ്സിംഗും അലൈഡ് ഹെൽത്തും ഒക്കെ നമുക്കവിടെ പഠിക്കാനായിട്ട് കുറച്ച് ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടാണ്. അത് ലോക്കൽ ലാംഗ്വേജിലാണ് അവരുടെ പഠിപ്പിക്കുക. ബാക്കി 1700-ലധികം വരുന്ന പ്രോഗ്രാമുകൾ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ളതാണ്. അതുപോലെ ഇപ്പോൾ ഒരു ഫ്രാൻസിൽ നിങ്ങൾ താമസിക്കുമ്പോൾ എൻറ്റയർ കോഴ്സ് ഒരു 40,000 രൂപയാണ് നിങ്ങളുടെ അക്കമഡേഷൻ എങ്കിൽ 20,000 രൂപ എവറി മന്ത് ഗവൺമെൻറ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് സബ്സിഡി തരും. ഫ്രീ ട്രാവലാണ്, ഫ്രീ ഇൻഷുറൻസ് ആണ്. ഇനി 860 യൂറോയാണ് പെർ മന്ത്. നിങ്ങൾ കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ടാവും, ഗൂഗിൾ ചെയ്താൽ അറിയാം. ഈ ഏപ്രിലാണ് അതിൻ്റെ ഡെഡ് ലൈൻ വരുന്നത്. ചാർപാക് സ്കോളർഷിപ്പ് എന്ന് പറയും. അപ്പോൾ ചാർപാക് സ്കോളർഷിപ്പ് 860 യൂറോസ് ആണ് പ്രൊവൈഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ 860 × 90 ഈസ് ഈക്വൽ ടു അപ്രോക്സിമേറ്റ് ഒരു 75,000-80,000 പെർ മന്ത്. ഇതൊന്നും ചെറിയൊരു കാര്യമല്ല. അപ്പോൾ ഇത്രയും ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റി ഉണ്ട് ചൂസ് ഫ്രാൻസ് ടൂറിൽ. അപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഈ പറയുന്ന സെറ്റ് ഓഫ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ചോദിച്ച് കൃത്യമായിട്ട് അത് ആൻസർ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കിട്ടും. മറ്റെന്തെങ്കിലും ഡൗട്ട്സ് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങളിവിടെ ഗൈഡ് ചെയ്യാനോ നിങ്ങളെ അസിസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ടും ഇവിടെ ഫാക്കൽറ്റീസ് ഉണ്ട്, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ വോളണ്ടിയേഴ്സ് ഉണ്ട്. ഓക്കെ, ഇനി എന്തെങ്കിലും ഡൗട്ട്സ് ഉണ്ടോ? അപ്പോൾ ഇനാഗറൽ സെറമണിയിലേക്ക് കടക്കുകയാണ്. ഞാനൊന്ന് പുറത്തോട്ട് ഇറങ്ങിക്കോട്ടെ. ഓക്കെ, താങ്ക് യു.
അവർ വന്നു, ഇങ്ങോട്ട് വരാനുള്ള താമസം ഉണ്ടാവും. അല്ല, ഈ വെൽക്കം പെർഫോമൻസിൻ്റെ അതെല്ലാം സെറ്റാണല്ലോ അല്ലേ? അവർ കുട്ടിക്ക് വന്നിട്ട് പിന്നെ തിരിച്ച് വന്നില്ല. ഡാൻസിങ് കോസ്റ്റ്യൂമുള്ളൊരു കുട്ടിയല്ലേ? ആണോ? അവർ വന്നോളൂ. അല്ല, സൗണ്ടും ഒക്കെ കറക്റ്റാണ്.
Victor Hugo says, to know, to think, to dream, it's all there. Today, we kickstart our journey to know, explore, and widen our horizons of learning. A single step and a giant leap to the ever-growing world of education.
A very cheerful morning to all the dignitaries, guests and students to Choose France Tour 2024. Let's cheer up with an awesome performance. Hearty welcome Ms. Vinduja Vijayan for the welcome performance.
महागणपतिं मनसा स्मरामि महागणपतिं मनसा स्मरामि वसिष्ठवामदेवादिवन्दित महागणपतिम् देवादिवन्दित महागणपतिं मनसा स्मरामि।
Thank you, ma'am. It was truly heartwarming. To give a brief overview of Choose France Tour 2024 and the details of today's schedule, I cordially welcome Reverend Father Gio Matthew to the stage. Welcome, Father.
Thank you. Good morning to everyone. Let's pause for a while and invoke the Spirit so that the day's functions would be done in a very smooth manner. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and friends, I stand before you today with great excitement and pride to announce the inauguration of a spectacular event, the Choose France Tour 2024, also known as CFT 2024. This initiative aims to open doors of opportunities for students aspiring for higher education in the beautiful country of France. As the single point of contact for this event, I have had the privilege of witnessing the overwhelming enthusiasm and interest from thousands of students who dream of pursuing their education in France. The responses have been nothing short of extraordinary, with over 1,000 plus registrations pouring in, reflecting the eagerness of and determination of our young minds to explore the academic landscape that France has to offer. Today marks the formal commencement of CFT 2024, and I am thrilled to see the dream turning into reality. Our esteemed guests, including the attaché and other embassy officers, are ready on the stage to grace this occasion with their presence and support. Their participation underscores the significance of this event and the strong bond between our nations in the realm of education. France has long been a beacon of academic excellence, cultural richness, and innovation. The Choose France Tour 2024 is not just an event, it's a gateway for students to discover the unparalleled opportunities that awaits them in France, in French universities and institutions. The formal inauguration function, which will commence shortly after my official words, promises to be a momentous occasion. It will set the tone for an event filled with informative sessions, interactive workshops, and the chance to connect directly with representatives from renowned French universities and schools. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to everyone who has been a part of making CFT a reality. Let's come together to celebrate education, diversity, and the boundless of potential that lies with each student who aspires to choose France. Thank you, and let the event unfold with the promises of a brighter and more enriching future for our aspiring scholars. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Father. It was so instructive and inspiring. I welcome all the dignitaries to the stage. Please be seated. to extend an invitation to our esteemed principal, Dr. Chaco KV, to take the platform for the welcome speech.
Good morning, all of you, and a warm welcome to Alphonsa College, Thiruvambady. Dr. Francois Xavier Motrail, the attaché, the president of this inaugural session, Professor Jose T. Puthur, Director of IQAC, University of Calicut, our chief guest, Ms. Eloise Ondate, National Coordinator, Campus France, India, Ms. Lucille Gillett, Science and Academic Cooperation Officer, Embassy of France, Dr. Ontile Day, Scientific Affairs Officer, and Reverend Father Saji Mangaril, Senate member of the Calicut University as well as the manager of this institution, other distinguished guests from the embassy, the Campus France, and also the Alliance France, and various institutions from France, the representatives from various institutions from France, the principals, the faculty members, and the students from various colleges and higher secondary institutions in the northern part of Kerala, other invited guests, dear students and parents. It's a great pleasure for me to welcome you all to the Regional Choose France Tour 2024, which is jointly arranged by the French Embassy, the Campus France, the Alliance France, and the Alphonsa College, Thiruvambady. As you may know, there is a strong strategic participation on partnership between India and France, especially in education. The other areas like trade and securities are also important as far as this agreement is concerned. In 2023, both the nations commemorated the 25th anniversary of these agreements. France is the first P5 country who supports India for the entry of India to the Security Council of UN. So we are indebted to France in that way as well. In 2023, both the nations signed another agreement, which is Horizon 2047 agreement for the next 25 years. For the coming 25 years, this agreement focuses, one of the focal area is, of course, the education itself. This regional CFT, which is a higher education summit, is first time in Kerala, which is of course organized by the France Embassy, and is of course a promoting program to improve the strategic relationship between India and France. Alphonsa College, through French Embassy, provide a unique opportunity for one-on-one meeting with the embassy officials, delegates of top-ranked institutions, universities, colleges from France, with our students. Alphonsa College, Thiruvambady, one of the best affiliated college in Kerala state, accredited to NAC with A grade, and has got an opportunity to open its doors for the youngsters of the northern part of Kerala to explore a wide array of courses offered by prestigious institutions in France to choose various programs, which include management, social science, environmental science, tourism, hospitality, IT, AI, artificial intelligence, engineering, so on and so forth. The participants can explore diverse academic fields to discover and cultivate their aptitude, skill, and potential in the CFT. Through this summit, we aim pinning programs between institutions of Kerala and France, exchange of students and faculties. Students means both bachelor's and master's exchange, and also promotion of research, internship collaborations, familiarizing 500 plus scholarship schemes of France exclusively offered for Indian students, preliminary discussion on signing MOUs with leading institutions through the Embassy of France. Under the new education policy, I firmly believe that the CFT will be a big step into the future of higher education in our country. I hope that the participants of this session will have a productive day which will widen their horizon of higher education and higher studies. I sincerely wish that this venture be a great success, not only as a chance to share knowledge and experience in higher studies or higher education, but also as the beginning of a long and fruitful cooperation and friendship among fellow educators devoted to the most meaningful and worthwhile task of teaching and training our youths who will shape our nations. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome Dr. Francois Xavier Montreal, the Attaché Scientific and Cooperations of France Embassy, who presides over this function, this August inaugural function. It was his guidance and supervision that made this event a great reality. We are very much obliged to him, and I extend my hearty welcome to you, sir. The chief guest of the day, Dr. Professor Jose T. Putur. He is a legend in the field of biological science. He was earlier the director of admission in the University of Calicut. He belongs to the Department of Botany in Calicut University as professor, and also presently he is the director of IQAC of the Calicut University. Is a simple as well as approachable personality. While we are choosing for the inaugural function a chief guest, we suffered a lot. I am deviating from the common Malayalam language, deviating to the Malayalam. ഇതിൻ്റെ ഔദ്യോഗികമായ ഉദ്ഘാടനത്തിന് വേണ്ടി ഞങ്ങൾ പലരെ ശ്രമിച്ചിരുന്നു. ചീഫ് മിനിസ്റ്റർ അടക്കം, ഹയർ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ മന്ത്രി അടക്കം, ഡിസ്ട്രിക്ട് കളക്ടർ അടക്കമുള്ളവർ. പക്ഷേ അപ്രതീക്ഷിതമായ കാരണങ്ങളാൽ അവർക്കൊന്നും ഈ ഫംഗ്ഷനിൽ എത്തിച്ചേരുവാനായിട്ട് സാധിച്ചില്ല. IPS, IAS ഉദ്യോഗസ്ഥരായിട്ടുള്ളവർ, പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽ സെക്രട്ടറി, ചീഫ് സെക്രട്ടറി, ഡെപ്യൂട്ടി ചീഫ് സെക്രട്ടറി അടക്കമുള്ള ആളുകൾ നമ്മൾ ശ്രമിച്ചിരുന്നു. ഇവർക്കെല്ലാം പങ്കെടുക്കേണ്ട ഒരു ഫംഗ്ഷനാണിത് വാസ്തവത്തിൽ. സ്റ്റേറ്റ് ഗവൺമെൻറ്റും സെൻട്രൽ ഗവൺമെൻറ്റും വിഭാവനം ചെയ്യുന്ന ന്യൂ നാഷണൽ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ പോളിസിയുടെ ഒരു പ്രയോഗവൽക്കരണമാണ് അൽഫോൺസ കോളേജ് ഇന്ന് ഇവിടെ തുടക്കം കുറിക്കുന്നത്. ലേറ്റസ്റ്റ് കേരള ബജറ്റിൽ നമ്മൾ കണ്ടതാണ്. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഈ വേൾഡ് വൈഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള സർവകലാശാലകളെ ഇന്ത്യയിലേക്ക് കൊണ്ടുവന്ന് പരസ്പരം MOUs ഉണ്ടാക്കി ആ തരത്തിൽ സ്റ്റുഡൻസിന് ഇവിടെ തന്നെ ഇൻ്റർനാഷണൽ ലെവലിലുള്ള എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ പ്രൊവൈഡ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ളൊരു അവസരമാണ് CFTയിലൂടെ ഒരുങ്ങുന്നത്. ഇതൊരു വൺ വേ ട്രാഫിക്കോ ഒരു സ്റ്റഡി അബ്രോഡ് പ്രോഗ്രാമോ അല്ല. അതിനപ്പുറത്തേക്ക് കടന്ന് 4-year കോഴ്സിൻ്റെ ഒരു ഇൻ്റഗ്രൽ പാർട്ടാണ് 4-മത്തെ വർഷത്തെ റിസർച്ച്. ആ റിസർച്ച് 4-മത്തെ വർഷത്തെ റിസർച്ച് ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ പ്രോത്സാഹിപ്പിക്കുന്ന ഒരു നേഷനാണ് ഫ്രാൻസ്. ഇമ്മൻസ് ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റീസ് ആണ് ഫ്രാൻസിൽ. ഇപ്പോൾ 4th ഇയറിൽ ഫ്രാൻസിൽ പോയി അവരുടെ 4th ഇയർ ഡിഗ്രി കംപ്ലീഷനുള്ള അവസരങ്ങൾ ഇതിലൂടെ ഒരുക്കപ്പെടുക എന്നുള്ള ഒരു ലക്ഷ്യം കൂടി ഇതിൻ്റെ പിന്നിലുണ്ട്. അതോടൊപ്പം നിരവധിയായി കുട്ടികൾക്ക് പ്രയോജനകരമായിട്ടുള്ള സ്കോളർഷിപ്പുകൾ, 1 ഇയർ ഡിഗ്രി കോഴ്സിൻ്റെ 1 ഇയർ പാർട്ട് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു സെമസ്റ്ററിൻ്റെ പാർട്ട് ഫ്രാൻസിൽ ചെയ്യുക എന്നുള്ള ഉദ്ദേശങ്ങൾ, അതൊക്കെ ഇതിൻ്റെ പിന്നിൽ നിൽക്കുന്നു. ആ തരത്തിൽ ഇന്ത്യയിലെ വിദ്യാഭ്യാസ സ്ഥാപനങ്ങളുടെ ക്വാളിറ്റിയെ ഇംപ്രൂവ് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ട് ഉന്നത വിദ്യാഭ്യാസത്തിൻ്റെ പേരിൽ വിദേശ രാജ്യങ്ങളിലെ ഒരുപക്ഷെ കുറേയൊക്കെ നിലവാരം കുറഞ്ഞ സ്ഥാപനങ്ങളിലേക്ക് വളരെയധികം കടബാധ്യതകളോടുകൂടി കടന്നു പോകുന്ന വിദ്യാർത്ഥികളെയും അവരുടെ കുടുംബങ്ങളെയും ഒരു വിധത്തിൽ സഹായിക്കുക എന്ന ലക്ഷ്യത്തോടെ തന്നെയാണ് നമ്മൾ ഇത്തരത്തിലുള്ള ഒരു CFT പ്രോഗ്രാം ഇവിടെ ഓർഗനൈസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. Coming back to the welcome session, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude and also a hearty welcome to Professor Josti Puttur for coming over here and addressing us chief guest. Also, I wish to welcome Ms. Louise Ondate, National Coordinator of the Campus France India, Ms. Lucille Gillett, Science and Academic Cooperation Officer, and Dr. Antila De, Scientific Affairs Officer, and Reverend Father Saji Mangareil, the College Manager and the Calicut University Senate Member, to this August function. I welcome all the dignitaries, the embassy officials. Because of shortage of time, I am not mentioning all the names of them. All the embassy officials, the institution heads, and all other dignitaries on and off the dais, I heartily welcome all of you. Last but not the least, I must mention all the participants, including some of the principals and principal delegates from other colleges, faculty members, research scholars from various institutions, students of various colleges and higher secondary schools. And also I would like to welcome the participants and parents who come over here from far and wide to take part in this higher education summit. Once again, I welcome all of you and I congratulate you. I am thankful to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. Without further ado, I'm proud and honored to invite Dr. Francois Xavier Mortry, Attaché for Scientific and Academic Cooperation, to share valuable insight on higher education and to bestow upon his words of wisdom. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. First of all, very good morning to all of you. Thanks for coming for this opening and this event. Very happy to see a big crowd like here. Reverend Joe Matthew, thanks for the introductions. Dr. Chaco, thanks a lot for this very explicit speech about the purpose of this event and the collaboration between our countries. Dr. Josh Tita Putur, thanks for being here. And Reverend Saji Mangarayali, thanks a lot also for joining for this opening. Dear representative also of the French institution, delegates, thanks a lot for coming here. It's a pleasure to see you during joining for this event. And dear faculty members from Alphonsa College and dear students, this event is for you, but we are very happy that we are to see you here coming for the day. As it has been mentioned before, you all are aware that President Emmanuel Macron visited India 2 weeks ago for the Republic Day, which was the reciprocity of the visit of Prime Minister Modi during the French National Day on last 14th of July. And among the numerous topics of collaboration they've talked about. There are something which was related to human. Things which, when we see the collaboration is in many fields, and the collaboration as meaning collaborating, working together, required that we have a good understanding, that we have this kind of respective understanding of each other, which can go through the mobility, through the exchange of students, which is why this chapter has been on the agenda of the President and the Prime Minister in order to discuss about how to support the collaboration which are in the economic sector, in the industrial sector, in the defense sector, in the scientific sectors, in the artistic sectors. We need to have people able to work together. And this is very important, which is what has been mentioned also by Dr. Chaco, that at some moment we need to have these intercultural meetings and we need to have such actions leading to that. And of course, the student mobility is part of it. This is through the youth that everything usually is set together, because it is at age that you have this wish to go for international exposure, such as the French students will have a wish to go and discover a new environment. And this is why finally we're here today, just to show you that France is proposing something to you, something for your future. You may be aware of many possibility to go to study abroad, because we know that USA, Canada, Australia, UK are very famous destination because they are English native speaking country. But we are not that bad. We are proposing a lot of programs in English. We are doing our best to speak it correctly. And we are doing also our best to welcome international students. To go back to some raw number, just to show you that it's not something new. Before COVID, there were 6 million students who were studying in a different country than that country of origin. 6 million worldwide were just moving and going somewhere else. Among them, there were roughly 1 million Indian students who were studying somewhere else than India. And France at the same time was welcoming 370,000 of international students, which are representing a good percentage of the internationalization of the students in the country. And we have both in India and in France one also other commitment, which is to increase this mobility. And again, increasing the mobility is not just to make good numbers and nice numbers, but we have the target to send 500,000 of French students abroad and to welcome 500,000 of international students in France, so from 370,000 to 500,000, and also to double the number of French students going overseas to study for 1 semester, 1 full year, or a full curriculum. And this is why we're here today, to try to open a new alternative for you. Last year, 2023, roughly 1,700 students from Kerala left Kerala to study abroad, and we hope that some of you will be in the batch of the 2024 and 2025. So you have time to work on this project, to think about what you want to do. And this is what this event is made for, because you will have some presentation made by my colleagues who are all here, coming from different states of India and from Delhi, just to tell you what is the process. Is it complicated to go to France? How can I fund my studies in France? What are the available scholarship programs? What is the path to go until the passport? How will be my life in France? All these kind of questions will be discussed by us during the main sessions, which will take place here in the other room. And in the meantime, in parallel, you will have the opportunity, which is not that often, to be on a one-on-one session with some of the 10 representatives of French institutions, the 10 delegates who are with us today. So you will be able to ask specific questions on how it is in their university, in their school of business, in their school of management. And this will help you to see if France can be a valuable option for you, such as we think it is. Why going to France? In very short, to conclude this speech, French is known, and you can check on every records, for the quality of its education. The ranking of the French universities, the French business schools, the French School of Engineering, the French School of Arts is quite outstanding and a good thing to show and to highlight. The second thing is the affordability. Apart one couple of schools which are based on same kind of tuition fees as the US ones, the other ones are proposing something which is much more affordable. Of course, there's a cost to go to study abroad compared to what probably you are paying when doing in India, but this is the cost of the international exposure. There's an effort to be made. And what we want to say is that French is not selecting only on the wealthy students to be able to go abroad, because we propose, the different schools are proposing a panel of affordable fees which can make something workable for yourself. And last but not least, the quality of life, which is not only the quality of life in France during your stay, which is also the quality of life through the European Union and the Schengen countries, because when going to France, you will enjoy a Schengen country, a Schengen passport, making you able to travel through these neighborhood countries, which is a big advantage for your holiday there or to prospect for some following state for yourself. And in case you feel that you would like to come back to India, please keep in mind that this experience in France will be very valuable, because we have something like 1,000 French companies and industry and subsidiaries based here in India. Not so many in Kozhikode, you're right, but we have already some in Kochi, we have a lot in Chennai, we have a lot in Bangalore, Hyderabad, in Bombay, in Delhi and in other cities. So if you're ready to go there, being able to go to France, studying in France, understanding the French culture, being able to speak French, which would be fantastic, like the cherry on the cake, make you having something very different from the other students when you come back to the country and when you want to enroll a nice career with a nice job in one of the French company or one of the Indian company as a partner of the French company who need this intercultural management skills that you will have acquired during your stay in France. So again, thanks a lot for welcoming us. Thanks a lot for making this event possible. Thanks, Shabari. Shabari is your first point of contact. He's here. You know him already, but please don't hesitate. He's permanently based in Kerala, in Kochi, but he's traveling quite often, so don't hesitate to ask him anything. And we will, all of us, be here for the whole day to answer all of your questions and make the presentation. Thank you very much.
A heartfelt thank you, sir, for sharing your valuable insights. I'm profusely elated to take this opportunity to introduce Dr. Josti Puthur, Professor of Department of Botany, University of Calicut, for inauguration and message. Welcome, sir.
Very respected Dr. Francois Xavier Montreal, Dr. Chaco, the principal of Alphonsa College, Reverend Father Saji, and other dignitaries on the dais, and of the dais, a warm good morning to all. At the outset, I should thank and congratulate Alphonsa College, Thiruvambady, for organizing such a great event. We have seen many occasions where this sort of programs have been arranged, but a whole team of consulate officials coming down from Delhi and directly involving this procedure, that is a very rare event which I have also witnessed. And I congratulate the college for organizing such a program. We were all thrilled when we heard when the Honorable President of France declared on January 26th, who was the chief guest of our Republic Day, that around 30,000 people, students, would be given an opportunity to learn in France. And I think from that time onwards, a big boom has taken place for a destination to France. And I think you may need to accommodate not 30,000, but maybe 3 lakhs. So that will be the people who will be rushing to France. And when I was just going through the details of this program, I was even astonished to see that there are around 1,700 institutions. There are around 3,500 institutions giving higher education, but out of that, almost 1,700 are giving education in English itself. That is one of the biggest apprehension I heard or I had, because I felt that the tutoring will be only in French. But it is a good news that tutoring happens in English also, and almost 1,700 institutions are giving education or tutoring in English. Even good news is there, 75% of international students are there in their education program. So that will be a truly international experience for the students reaching out to France. Because when we see the international students in our educational institutions, it is very less. And when I get back to our university, we have seen that it is not more than 5% in University of Calicut. So from that situation, you can just imagine the 75% of students studying in France is from other countries. So you have a very cosmopolitan nature of students, and that is really going to help you out in your building up the career. And over more, they are offering good number of fellowships also. I could get the information that around 500 plus scholarship opportunities are there. That will be a very great help for the students moving out from India to learn in France. And of course, the informations again say that the France is one of the leading countries in global education. As per a QS ranking, that is one of the ranking process which has ranked the different institutions based on their performance. The topmost countries are coming in France, US, and other European countries. And now even India is making a good strive to take some of its higher institutions into the QS rankings. Last week we had a meeting with the Higher Education Ministry of the Center, and they were prompting all the higher education institutions that we should be a part of the QS ranking as well as the Times Higher Education ranking. And it is because of their ranking, now people are rushing to their countries. Similarly, India also expect that once our institutions also go up in the higher rankings, there may be outsiders also coming to our nation for taking up higher education. And very gladly I have to say that University of Calicut is holding 92nd position in South Asian QS ranking. That is one of the best position that University of Calicut is holding. And for the information of the attaché, our university is having 70th position in the National Institute of Ranking Framework, that is the NIRF. And our university is also having A+ grade in the whole of the nation. So you are in a university, or you are now in one of the institute belonging to one of the, or affiliated to one of the universities, very prominent in Kerala. We are spread out to 5 districts of the Kerala region. We have 428 affiliated colleges, and Alphonsa College is just one of that. We have another 427 colleges more, and almost 3 lakh students are studying in our university. So you can imagine the size of our university. And of course, I take this opportunity to invite the attaché and team to our university for, of course, I talked to him in this regard. He has a very tight schedule, he is going back, but certainly he has assured that in another occasion, he will be coming back, and we will be discussing on the scientific and education cooperation, what the whole university can offer to him. Now coming to the national education policy, maybe the parents may be having some apprehensions on that. I see a lot of parents are gathered here. So I can little bit shift to Malayalam also for the information of the parents who are gathered here. NEP education എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് എപ്പോഴും ഒരു ആശങ്കയുണ്ട്. ഇനി അടുത്ത കൊല്ലം +2 കഴിഞ്ഞ കുട്ടികളെയൊക്കെ നമ്മൾ ചേർക്കാൻ പോകുന്നത് പുതിയൊരു എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ സ്ട്രീമിലാണ് വരാൻ പോകുന്നത്. 4-year എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ പ്രോഗ്രാം. കഴിഞ്ഞ ദിവസങ്ങളിൽ കാലിക്കറ്റ് യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റി 4-year അണ്ടർ ഗ്രാജുവേറ്റ് പ്രോഗ്രാമിൻ്റെ നിയമാവലി പാസ്സാക്കി. ഇതനുസരിച്ചിട്ട് ഇനി നമ്മൾ ചേരുന്ന പ്രോഗ്രാമുകൾ 4 കൊല്ലമാണ് ഡിഗ്രിക്ക് പഠിക്കേണ്ടി വരിക. അതിലൊരു ഓപ്ഷൻ വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്, 3 കൊല്ലം കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എക്സിറ്റിനുള്ളൊരു ഓപ്ഷൻ ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് 3 ഇയറിൻ്റെ ഡിഗ്രി കിട്ടാം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ 4 കൊല്ലത്തെ ഡിഗ്രി കിട്ടാം. നിങ്ങൾ കണ്ടിന്യൂ ചെയ്ത് പോവുകയാണെങ്കിൽ 4 കൊല്ലത്തെ ഡിഗ്രി കിട്ടാം. And there is also a lot of flexibility. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒരു കോഴ്സിൽ നിന്ന് വേറെ കോഴ്സിലേക്ക് മൂവ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ഫ്ലെക്സിബിലിറ്റി ഒക്കെ കൊടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. And around they are asking for 177 credits to be earned in total for this 4-year program. And already Dr. Chako mentioned here that in the 4th year we have 2 programs. One is the honors degree and honors with a research degree. And in this research program, you will have an opportunity to work for 6 months in a project or a research work, and that you can even plan it out in an institution abroad also. So that is the beauty of this particular 4-year program, and all the stage is set for launching of this program. From next year onwards, we have this 4-year degree program being launched. And why the Indian government has introduced this 4-year program? Because we want to internationalize our own education system with that of the outside world. And that is with the aim that more students may turn up to our nation also to take up higher education. But it is boon in one way for the students. Either we can move out from our nation to other nations. Similarly, students from other nations can come in, and this is a totally internalization of the program. കാരണം നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അറിയാവുന്ന പോലെ പുറത്തൊക്കെ നമുക്ക് 4-year പ്രോഗ്രാമാണുള്ളത്. അതുകൊണ്ട് ഈ 4-year പ്രോഗ്രാം എന്ന് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഏറ്റവും സൗകര്യം നമ്മുടെ കുട്ടികൾക്ക് അങ്ങോട്ട് മൂവ് ചെയ്യാനും അവിടുത്തെ കുട്ടികൾക്ക് ഇങ്ങോട്ട് മൂവ് ചെയ്യാനും ഒരു ട്രൂലി ഗ്ലോബലൈസേഷൻ ഇൻ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ ഈസ് ഗോയിങ് ടു ഹാപ്പൻ ഇൻ ദ കമ്മിങ് ഇയേഴ്സ്. ആൻഡ് ദിസ് ഇസ് എ ബിഗ് ചേഞ്ച്, ആൻഡ് യു ആർ അറ്റ് ദ റൈറ്റ് ജംഗ്ഷൻ of this point wherein you have really coming and addressing the people so that they will have a better opportunity to reach a good destination of education in France. And also we are looking towards twinning programs and also dual degree programs. And of course, twinning program, you may be having some idea that we partially do some of the programs here and move to the another nation to complete it. So that is the twinning programs, and already NEP, National Education Policy, envisaged that we have an opportunity to move outside and do a part of the course outside and come back and complete the programs over here. And I think certainly this sort of educational events are going to help you to find out an institute and abroad to move out and work for a better education. Now coming to one of the last point is regarding the ABC credit, ABC, that is academic bank crediting, which has the central government has already envisaged. This is again another advantage for you students, because once you earn the degree or once you earn the credit, this will be deposited in the academic bank of credits. This will be in your name, and if at all you are going to gain more credits from other institutions, that will also be credited into this academic bank. അപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങളെ പാസ്ബുക്ക് പോലെ നിങ്ങളുടെ ബാങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങളുടെ ക്രെഡിറ്റ് ഇങ്ങനെ വന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കും. നിങ്ങൾ ഏത് പ്രോഗ്രാം ചെയ്യുന്നോ ആ പ്രോഗ്രാമിൻ്റെ ക്രെഡിറ്റ് ആഡ് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കും. And last week I told you we had a meeting with the Ministry of Higher Education in the center. So they were telling that although 177 has been envisaged for a earning 4-year degree, you can earn more credits outside 177. At a time you can go for different courses and earn more degree, and that will be credited into your account. And this credit will be gaining you more benefits once you apply for a job or if you want to move outside for a higher education program. So all this is going to be a big change in the education scenario, and I think the students can take the best opportunities out of it. Now coming to statistics, what I read in 2019-20 period, almost 10 lakh students have moved out from India for higher education. At the same time, only 50,000 have come to India for higher education. So see the difference. Almost 10 lakh are moving out, and only 1/20th of the students are coming in for higher education, and that too from a very poor countries. So this is the education scenario what is happening. And there is a big change which is happening in the near future also. And I wish all the best for this program. And I think you people will be benefited. Interact with the people around you over here and take the best benefit out of it. Once again, I thank the Alphonsa College, Thiruvambady, and also the consulate for organizing such a splendid event which is beneficial for the students. And with the permission of you all, I inaugurate this program. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for a thoughtful message. Now I invite Dr. Jose T. Puthur and all our guests to kindle the flame. Sir, ma'am, please.
We are very happy to be here today to promote higher education in France. Dear students, this is really the opportunity for you to discover France as an education destination. You will have the opportunity to talk with a French representative from some of the best schools in France, but also with us from Campus France. Do not hesitate to ask all the questions you might have. We are here for it today. It can be really all the questions you can have on how to choose your degree, but also some really technical question or not so technical, like how it is to live in France. I myself studied in 3 different countries and did internship in numerous number of countries as well. And I can only tell you how important it is to open your mind and to open your education and go study abroad. I know that studying in one country is really good, but if you go abroad to study, then you will have 2 kinds of different teaching that will come to your mind. So when you will encounter a new problem or a new situation, instead of having only one set of mind, you will have 2. So that's why it's really important to try to go abroad and to learn also new cultures, new language. French is not as difficult as it can seem at first hand. And we are also opening, President Macron has announced it in his address to students 2 weeks ago in Jaipur, that we are opening for the first time ever, only for Indian students this year, the so-called classe internationale. So those classes are going to be only for Indian students, for students who wish to go to France to study, and to study in French. The idea is to open our programs. We already have more than 1,700 programs that are taught in English in France, but we also want to open all our programs to international students and especially Indian students. So the classe internationale, you will have a 1-year foundation year where you will learn French. You will learn French related to one particular topic. If you wish to study engineering, you will have a French class. And you will also have some French mathematical class, for example. And after this 1 year of foundation, to learn more French, then you will be able to enter a bachelor degree and learn in French entirely. So in 4 years, you will be able to have a bachelor in French. So this is really a good opportunity, and I strongly encourage undergraduates to look into it, as it will be for us the opportunity to open our higher education system to all the Indian students. Once again, we are very happy to be here today, and we really hope that you will take the opportunity to come and talk to us, ask as many questions as you might have, and do not hesitate after the fair to reach out to our very wonderful Campus France manager based in Kochi, Shabari. To also, you can have a one-to-one counseling session with him, and he can help you craft your project to study in France. Thank you again.
Thank you, ma'am. It's my privilege to invite our college manager, Senate member, University of Calicut, Reverend Father Saji Mangaril, to the platform for your priceless words. Welcome, Father.
Respected Chair and distinguished guests from French Embassy and different institutions, Dr. Chako Gaby, and my dear brothers and sisters, dear students from different institutions, Reverend Fathers. Now it is be late for 45 minutes, I think. So I would like to speak more, but good luck for everyone, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Father. As a token of our love and affection, we would like to invite Ms. Bini Sebastian to hand over the mementos to our distinguished guests. Welcome, ma'am.
In the absence of Ms. Bini Sebastian, I request Dr. Chako KV, principal of our college, to hand over the memento. Dr. Francois Xavier Mortrey, Miss Lucille Gay, Miss Eloy Onde, I invite Ms. Binny Sebastian to hand over the memento to Dr. Andrela Dey. Thank you, ma'am.
I invite our student coordinator, Muhammad Jassim, to enter the stage and offer a word of gratitude.
A delightful morning to all the dignitaries on and off the dais, guests and students. Today, I'm incredibly honored and privileged to extend a word of thanks on this auspicious occasion. This is a momentous day in the history of our college as we have the privilege to hosting Choose France Tour 2024 in collaboration with the Embassy of France. First and foremost, I express my deepest appreciation to Dr. Francois Xavier Mortier, Attaché for Scientific and Research Cooperation, for gracing us with his presence and sharing his invaluable insight with us. Thank you, sir. I'm immensely grateful to Dr. George T. Puthur, Professor of the Department of Botany, University of Calicut, for enlightening us with your words of wisdom. Thank you, sir. I render my sincere thanks to Ms. Eloise Onde, National Coordinator of Campus France India, for all your immense support and encouragement. Thank you, ma'am. I also thank Dr. Vandala Dey, Scientific Affairs Officer, for imparting your knowledge and perspectives with us. Thank you, ma'am. We are deeply indebted to Ms. Lucille Gee, Science and Academic Cooperation Officer, for your boundless assistance and contribution to CFT. Thank you, ma'am. I would like to thank Reverend Father Saji Mangariel, Manager of Alphonsa College, Thiruvambady, whose guidance and support have been instrumental in organizing this event. Thank you, Father. I extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Chako Kevi, Principal of this college, who is always ready to go above and beyond, make sure everything is perfectly coordinated. Thank you, sir. And also, I would like to express my gratitude to Reverend Father Gio Matthew, IQAC coordinator of this college, the most reliable source of support for all of us. Thank you, Father. Last but not least, my sincere thanks to our faculty members, our vibrant student organizers, volunteers, participants, and all the other guests for your tireless effort and dedication. Thank you all and have a nice day.
Jassim, I request all the dignitaries to be on the stage for a minute, and I invite Ms. Binny Sebastian to hand over the mementos. Ms. Kyati Parikh. Mr. Yash Kakar. Ms. Miran Rai Khan. Mr. Shabari Kishore. Ms. Noreen P. Alanjeri.
Thank you, St. Alphonsa College. So, we, the Campus France India, would like to honor the Alphonsa College management I would like to request FX and Alois to do the honoring. I would like to invite Dr. Jose T. Putur. Okay. So he is attending a function. So we'll move to Dr. Chaco KV, Principal of St. Alphonsa College. Father Gio. Miss Augustine. Father Saji Mangarayil. And Father Saji.
Students, please stay back on the same venue. The dignitaries and other guests can leave. The inaugural session ends here. Without further delay, we will have a session on Study in France and Scholarships, leading by Ms. Marin, Campus France Manager, Hyderabad.
Check. Bonjour, good morning. It's still good morning. Can you hear me from the back? Am I clear? All right. Just give us a couple of minutes. We are setting it up. Okay, in the meantime, while we are setting up, how many of y'all are learning French right now? Or you know French? Little bit, basic? Okay, brilliant. That's nice. And how many of y'all are from external colleges and schools? All right. And how many are wanting to pursue masters? Okay, what about bachelors? Any bachelor students? All right. Okay, I'll get started. I know that you've come early in the morning and you've attended a 1-hour inauguration program, so you might be a little restless. Do you want to stand up and stretch your legs? Be a little more relaxed? Yeah? You okay? You're fine? You bear with me for at least half an hour, okay? I'll try to wrap up the presentation in half an hour's time, and then we can have a Q&A. Is that okay? Does that sound fine? Is my voice audible? Because I can hear an echo. You can understand me at the back, right? Yes? Okay. So for this session, I'm planning to cover these topics, okay? I will give you an understanding about higher education in France, and I'll talk a bit about the work that we do in the French Embassy, and then I'll talk to you about some misconceptions that some people have about France. And then, like I mentioned, towards the end, we'll have an interactive Q&A. So you've been hearing about Campus France. You've seen the Campus France logo. Do you know what Campus France is? Any idea? If you can just raise your hand and just give it a go. If you're brave enough to answer in public, this is a house full room. No, we're definitely not an educational consultancy. Many people think that, okay, because the name can be confusing. Anybody else wants to give it a go? Anybody else? All right. So Campus France is the education department, education section of the French Embassy in India. So we are not, we don't represent any private consultancy as such, and we don't represent any private agency. We are directly under the French Ministry of External Affairs. And I'm sure most of you know what embassies do, right? You know what German embassy or US embassy, UK embassy does, right? So the same thing for France. We are the education department. To put it in simple terms, our department is called Campus France. So in collaboration with Alphonsa College, we have organized this event because we are trying to educate people about what it is to do their higher education in France. So like I mentioned, we operate under the French Ministry of External Affairs. In Kerala, we have one office. I think you saw my colleague here, Shabri. He is based in Kochi. We don't have an office here as such in Calicut, but in Kochi we do have an office, and you can always reach out to us over there. So what do we do? What is our job? You know what the embassy does. The embassy maintains the political, diplomatic relationship between India and France. And we also help students. How do we help students? We advise and we counsel them. And we also organize events. So we organize events like this, and we organize different education fairs every year. What we also do is, when the student goes to France for their higher education, before getting their student visa, they have to attend a Campus France interview with us. If the student does not attend this interview, they're not going to get their visas, okay? This is a mandatory process set by the French government. So any student, either going for undergraduate or masters, you have to come to our office to attend an interview. So this is to give you an idea as to what we do. Okay, I've covered the first circle. I'm going to move to the second circle now. Misconception about studies in France. The first misconception is, can you see that? Number one, what does it say? You need to speak in French. Okay, many people think that you actually need to speak in French to do your UG or your masters in France. That's not true. Some other countries may have this requirement where you have to learn their language in order to study in their country. But for France, if you don't know French, that is absolutely fine. And why is that absolutely fine? Our programs are taught in English. So when you go to France, your classwork assignments, your exams, your group work, your lecturers, when they are discussing with you, when they're teaching you, it'll all be in English. It is not going to be in French. We have separate French taught programs for students who speak French. So if anyone here speaks French, and you, do you know that French or any language is divided into different levels? You have A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. A1 and A2 is beginner's level. B1 and B2 is conversing level. So right now I'm talking to you and you're responding back. This is B2 level, okay? C1, C2 is for teaching or for being a professional translator. That is the C level. So for students who want to study the program taught in French, you need to have a B2. But if you are going to study the program in English, you don't need any French. Okay, is that clear? Any questions on this? Because we get many questions on this. If I need to speak in French, if I have to do an exam, it's not like that. You don't have to do any exam. You don't have to speak in French. Okay. Myth number 2 is at the bottom there. Education is expensive. This is not true because the tuition fees and the cost of living in France, it is heavily subsidized by the French government, okay? You have to remember that France is not as large as the US or Canada or Australia. We are a smaller country in size. We are more similar to the European countries, and our tuition fees are much more lower. So when you are thinking of studying in France, you will choose either public university or private university. In India, we have public and private as well, right? In France, you will have public and private as well. For public universities, the cost of the tuition fee is only rupees 3.5 lakhs per annum. Okay, I'll repeat, 3.5 lakhs per annum only. If you compare it to some of the institutions in India, it is even at the equivalent level, all right? Some of the other countries like US, Australia, they have their tuition fees which is much more higher. Can you guess how much it is? What is the starting range of US and Australia? Any guesses? Double-digit figures. Right? Double-digit figures, and it's much more higher. In France, 3.5 lakhs public universities is nothing, okay? If you apply to a private institution, it can go higher. So you could be spending anywhere between 7 lakhs per annum. It can go right up till 20-25 lakhs per annum. It depends which institution you choose. So that is about the tuition fees. I hope you can see number 2 here, CAF, C-A-F. Has anyone heard of this, CAF? C-A-F? Anyone? No? Okay. This is a reimbursement that the French government gives. This is not just for only French citizens, this is for international students. So when you go to France and you are paying your hostel fees to the university, or you are paying the accommodation rent to a private landlord, landlady, owner, or an organization, you are able to reimburse up to 30% of your accommodation from the French government. So that is CAF, number 2. Okay? Number 3 is part-time jobs. When our students go to France, they are allowed to work 20 hours per week while they are studying. So if you go for your bachelor's, your master's, you can work anywhere. There is no restriction. You can work on campus, you can work off campus, but you have to stick to 20 hours per week, okay? Some countries don't allow this. I will not name the countries, but if you do your research, some of the main prominent countries, big countries, they don't allow part-time work for students. But for France, we don't have an objection as long as it's restricted to the number of hours. Number 4, 5, and 6, all this is basically, again, reimbursements or discounts, subsidies that the French government provides. So again, when our students go to France, they can get up to 70% reimbursement of medical insurance, and they get a lot of discounts. So when they want to visit tourism places or use the public transport, if you just show your student ID card, you will get the discount. And many of these discounts is actually for the students, of course, French citizens as well as international students, and many others are for students below the age of 26. And I'm assuming most of y'all, if not all of y'all, who are going is below 26, right? Yeah, except for maybe some PhD students who are going. All right. I'll move on to myth number 3. Admission procedure is long and complicated. Now, for France, the admission procedure is quite different towards when you compare it to other countries. So these are the 4 steps that we follow for France, okay? Number 1 step is that first you will shortlist your institution. You will find out which are the institutions you should apply to and how you should go about it. Now remember, in the beginning I mentioned that Campus France, we are part of the French embassy. So the reason we can't provide any specific suggestions. So sometimes students will come to us and they will say, can you please suggest 3 universities to apply to? Or can you give me the name of the best institution in France? We can't do that, okay? Because we have to be unbiased. So we can definitely help you, we can guide you in shortlisting, we can guide you in finding out, but we can't tell you specifically that you should apply to this program or that institution, all right? So step 1 is shortlisting. You will first shortlist. You will decide whether or not you want to apply public or private. Once you've decided, you will submit your application to the institution. And when you get your admit letter, remember in the beginning I told you that you have to attend a Campus France interview to get your student visa. That is step 2, okay? We have a portal. It is the Campus France portal website. You have to create your application. That is step 2. You will create your application, you will upload your documents, and you will come to our office with all your documents, original documents, and you will have an interview with us. It's not a very, sometimes students think it's a very serious interview, like a job interview, but it's not like that, okay? It's a very quick interview. We just want to have a discussion with you, find out more about yourself, what is your motivation, and why you have decided to go to France. It's a very simple, straightforward interview. Once you are done with step 2, you will go to step 3. You will apply for your visa. You will submit your passport, your financial documents, and then you will depart for, once you get the visa, you will depart for France. So in all these steps, Campus France can help you. Number 1, we are here to guide you, shortlist. Number 2, we will help you in your Campus France application. We will guide you on how to apply for your visa. And even when you leave, before you leave for France, every year, Campus France, we organize a pre-departure session. What is a pre-departure session? So all the students who are going from India to France, I'm not sure if you heard, but during the inauguration, my colleague said that last year, 1,500 students from Kerala went to France last year, 2023, 1,500. So All these students went through this process, and when they reach the last stage, what we do is we organize an event where they can all meet each other. Okay, generally for the state of Kerala, it happens in Kochi. Sometimes we try to do it in Trivandrum as well. But all of you, whoever gets an admit letter, you are welcome to attend that event. What we do is we will advise you on the, the social and cultural aspects, culture shock, what to do in France. You will get to meet students who are going at the same time you are going. Maybe someone who is in your class or your batchmate or your institution. So it's a very good event to network. You will also meet alumni who will share their feedback, their testimonial, and they will give you advice on how to go about it. So at every stage, it's very straightforward, and we are here to guide. Myth number 4, the bottom portion here. Post-study opportunities are rare. This is not true because we've listed 4 of the most important opportunities. Number 1 is for students who complete their master's program. I'm not talking about bachelor's, master's program. You can avail of a post-study visa. Do you understand what is a post-study visa? So after you finish your master's program and you would like to stay back in France to look for a job, to work somewhere, then that provision is there. It is for 2 years for Indian citizens. If you are someone who has a different nationality, it might be different for you. But for Indian students, because we have a very good relationship with France, I'm sure you all know who was the chief guest for India's Republic Day. It was a very VIP from France. Who was it? Yes. So because India and France has a very good relationship for Indian students, there is a post-study provision available. You can finish your master's program and apply for the APS visa. We call it APS. It is for 2 years. Okay? So you can look for a job. If you get a job and you get it full-time and permanent, you can even convert that to a work permit. Number 2 is my colleague FX, who was talking about India and France. He mentioned that there are over 1,000 French companies in India. Can you name some of the French companies in India? Some of the products you are using every day. Sorry? L'Oreal, that's right. L'Oreal is one. Second? Take any guesses? Any aeronautical engineering students here? Aeronautical engineering? No? We have some very brilliant companies based in India. Have you heard of Dassault, Safran, Airbus? They're all French companies. There is one French company which is famous for its sports and hiking gear. What is that? Decathlon. Somebody said that? Yes, Decathlon. Do you know Capgemini? Capgemini. Yes, you've heard of it? That is also a French company. It doesn't sound French, but it is a French company. What are some of the car companies which are French? Renault, Citroën, right? You've heard all, they're all French. So once you finish your master's program, when you decide to look for a job, these ones should be your go-to point. And because they are based in India, where they have their head offices, they've got their companies out here, you should definitely try and apply for the jobs because they truly appreciate students who have a French degree. Number 3 is you get to join an alumni network which is very large in number. Because so many students now are going from India to France, the alumni network has expanded. And why is the alumni network important? Even if you're in a college right now, why do you think the alumni network in your college is important? What do you gain from alumni networks? From universities, colleges? Any guesses? No guess is a wrong guess. Just guess. Try. No? Okay. The alumni network is your go-to point when you want to know how was the program. Okay? Say supposing you're shortlisting, you're finding out institutions. Alumni network can give you the feedback. How did they find France as a country? How did they find the program? And how did they find a job? How did they apply for the APS stay-back visa? How did they get the internship? Can they connect you with someone who is looking for a new employee or a new staff? Alumni network is very important because they are the ones who will connect you to the industry once you graduate. So if there is a job or an opening vacant position in the company that they are working at, or they've heard from somewhere, they are the ones who can definitely forward your CV, your resume, connect you to the industry. Okay? Number 4 is 5 years alumni Schengen visa. Now, many students get confused with number 1 and number 4. Number 1 and number 4 is completely different. I'll repeat, number 1 is for the stay back option for master's students. You finished your master's program, you would like to stay back in France, look for a job, that is the APS 2-year visa. The 5-year alumni visa is a tourism visa. So once you finish your master's or your exchange program in France, you are eligible to apply for a 5-year Schengen visa. This Schengen visa allows you to travel in any of the Schengen countries as a tourist, but it doesn't allow you to work. Okay? So I hope that you know the difference between 1 and 4. Do you know what are the countries in the Schengen area? Can you name some of them? France is one of them. Germany, Switzerland, Italy, someone said? I think I heard Italy. Yes. What are the others? Sweden, yeah, I think so. But I'm not really sure if they come under the Scandinavian area. Yes, so when you apply for a 5-year alumni visa, you basically get to travel as a tourist in the Schengen zone, but you can't stay there forever. You have a 90-day period, 90. You can go there, stay, then come back. Go there, stay, come back. Basically, it allows you to travel without having to reapply for the visa again and again and again for 5 years. Okay? So I hope you don't have a confusion with number 1 and number 4. Number 4 is not a stay-back post-study visa. It doesn't allow you to work. Okay. I'll move on to myth number 5, where, sorry about the slides. Yeah. Myth number 5, if you can see this blurb here, it says choices are limited. Sometimes students think that France has very limited number of programs. That is not true because we have a variety of them. First of all, I mentioned the programs are taught in English. Second of all, we have different subjects. So if you want to do MBA, you want to do Masters in Management, luxury brand management, fashion, architecture, you want to do even engineering, different fields of engineering, we have that available as well, okay? So if you are still confused what to do, say supposing you are an engineering student and you want to do management, that is possible. We have so many students from India who have engineering technical background and then they go on to do a master's in management or an MBA, and that's absolutely fine. If you're interested in switching to a management role, you can always apply. We also have some of the art students who do management roles as well. Art students can even do masters in management, MBAs, that is possible. We have different type of programs. We have 1-year programs, we have 15 months, 18 months, 2 years, 3 years. Bachelor programs are generally for 3 years, okay? And it depends on your institution. Now, for example, the good institutions in France, they will embed something which is called an internship. Do you know what an internship is? So in India, we have the concept of placement, right? During our undergraduate, we get placements and we get a job where our college finds it within a company. In France, we don't call it as placement, we call it as internship, and it is during the program. So say for example, I chose a master's program which is for 18 months. There are many master's programs for 18 months. What will happen is you will do 6 months of course study, 6 months of internship, and then you will come back for 6 months of course study, total 18 months. And this internship is mandatory. Most of the institutions in France will make it mandatory. Why is it mandatory? Number one, you have to gain credits through those internships. Number two, you get to have work experience in France, which is very important. And number three is when you have a good rapport, a good relationship with the company who has given you this internship, and you are able to impress them, they might be the ones who will issue or recognize you and request for a work permit for you. So these small opportunities that the institution provides can open up bigger doors, bigger opportunities once you finish your master's program or your bachelor's program. Internships are also in bachelor's program. So internships are very important. So all this is available in France, and during the inauguration, my colleague also mentioned some ranking systems. In India, we have like an all India ranking which is conducted. In France, we don't have the French government conducting the ranking as such, but we have different organizations and establishments. So THE stands for Times Higher Education Ranking. There is QS ranking and Financial Times. All these rankings are good systems. They should give you an idea as to who you can apply to, and you can use basically common sense. Now, for example, if I'm a student and I have not got very great marks, I've got average marks during my 12th and my UG. So when I apply common sense, I will not be applying to the top 5 institutions in France, right? Because when I check the eligibility criteria of these top institutions, their eligibility criteria scores will be much higher. So rankings is to give you an idea which ones you can look out for, which ones you can do more research about. This is not the most important factor. Ranking should not be the most important factor. You have many other factors also, but this can be a go-to point in terms of thinking about how you should shortlist. Again, just to give you examples of what kind of rankings are there and which type of institutions. This is Financial Times. This has a range of public as well as private institutions. Okay. How to fund my education? This is a question that we get every time in the office. This is an important slide. You can actually take a photograph of this, and maybe later on when you go home, you can scan the QR codes. So students, I'm sure and I'm aware that you are all looking out for financial aid and scholarships. That is quite important to us. Always remember that scholarships are divided into various types, various categories, okay? Number one scholarship is provided by the French government, the French embassy. Okay. I hope you've taken the photograph. Okay. So, like I was saying, scholarships are divided into different categories. There is no one such scholarship and one eligibility criteria and one application process. It's very different. You have to do a lot of research to find out more. So one type of category of scholarships is by the French government. So the French embassy in India, we provide scholarships for Indian students only, which is a benefit for you because you don't have to compete with different nationalities. You are competing only with students from India. Our two main scholarships are called Eiffel Scholarship. You've heard of Eiffel Tower, I'm sure, yes, in Paris. One of the scholarship is called Eiffel Scholarship, and the second one is called Char Pak Scholarship. Okay, these two scholarships are rolled out every year. Rolled out in the sense they are given every year. So irrespective of whether you are graduating now and you are applying for France higher education this year, you can apply. Even next year you can apply, it will be there. Okay, every year we provide this scholarship, and students from across India, they're all competing for this. If you are graduating this year and you are applying for France this year, Eiffel deadline has already finished. Okay, but if you still want to do some more research and find out, Char Pak is definitely open. Char Pak Bachelor's is open and Char Pak Master's is open as well. If you can note down these names and you can even Google them later on. The deadlines are both open for Master's category and Bachelor's category. Don't confuse one with each other, okay? Different eligibility criteria and different application process also. If you just Google it, you see the Campus France website, all the details are mentioned. You know how much will you get, what other fees are waived off, what is the criteria to apply, when is the deadline, all these details are in the website. Second type of scholarship is by the French institutions. Who are the French institutions? Basically the public universities and the private institutions. Some of the institutions who are here today, they will have their own scholarship. So whenever you are thinking of applying for a program, be it bachelor's or master's or even PhD, you first should find out if the scholarship they have is from the institution and what is the eligibility criteria. They will have their own deadline, okay? The French government has nothing to do with their deadline. They will have separate deadlines, separate application procedure. You need to check with that. And the third type of scholarship is provided by different organizations and foundations based in India. Like, for example, the Franco India Trust, they have a couple of scholarships. So all these links will basically show you where you need to go and see. In case you're not able to take a photograph, not a problem, just email us, email to Campus France Kochi, and just request them, can you please share the scholarship links? We'll definitely send them to you. Another question that I always get is scholarships fully funded? Now that depends on who is providing the scholarship. Some scholarships are fully funded. Just to note that the scholarships from the French government are not fully funded as such. It is like a monthly stipend that we give you, about 800 to 1,000 euros per month. And also different fees are waived off, like your Campus France fee is waived off, your visa fee is waived off. All those amenities are provided. So you need to check how much you are getting. There's no standard rate as such, okay? Each scholarship is different. And you need to check whether or not it's fully funded or partially funded, or if it is based on merit. Based on merit means based on your academic performance. Need-based is based on your financial background. So all these permutation combinations are there. You will have to do a lot of research. You will have to spend some time filtering all these scholarships to see which one you can apply to, because some scholarships are only specifically for sciences students, some only for humanities, some only for business. You will have to check. Okay, in the beginning I asked how many of you all spoke French, and I also covered that you don't need to know French. However, it is good to know French because you are going to a country where French is the main language, right? So in order to converse with people in your daily life, beyond your classroom. In your classroom, everything is going to be in English. You'll be talking to your batchmates, your lecturers, everything in English. But beyond that, when you go out of your classroom, it's good to know French, right? So even basic level will help you get accustomed to the culture and the lifestyle in France. Also, French is not the only language in France. Many other countries recognize this language. And for example, if you are applying for an international organization job like the UN, United Nations, French is recognized as one of the main languages. So this really helps you in applying for jobs as well as for maybe, migration towards other countries. I think most of you all know in Canada, French is one of the main languages as well, right? So knowing French will give you so many more benefits. It will add an advantage to your CV. Say, for example, you are applying for a scholarship and the committee is looking at two applications, yours and another candidate. Your application says that you know some French. Other candidate says they don't know any French at all. Your application will be preferred for the scholarship because you have some knowledge about French, you have some proficiency, okay? Especially for the French government scholarships. This is always an added bonus. So how do you learn French? There are many methods. In India, we have the Alliance Française network. Have you heard of Alliance Française? No? Some? Okay. Alliance Française is basically a French culture and language center. Okay? They are a separate organization. They teach French. They have classes virtually as well as online. Noreen, just correct me if I'm wrong. Alliance Française is in Kochi, Trivandrum, in Kerala, two cities. Kochi and Trivandrum. But you don't have to physically go there to learn French. They have online classes as well. I'm sure different institutions are also teaching French. When you go to France for your bachelor's or your master's, some institutions, they will give free French classes also. You should enroll in them, okay? And if you have your mobile phones, which I'm sure everybody has, there are so many free apps. One of the most common app is Duolingo. If you practice just 5 minutes per day, you will have at least A1, A2 basic level proficiency, okay? So this can open up many doors. And like I mentioned, when you want to contact us, this is the contact detail. If you can't see, you'll have to take a photograph to zoom in. My colleague Shabari is based in the Campus France office in Kochi. That is his email address. We don't have a phone line. It is only via email, okay? Even later on in life, say for example, you graduate now and you work for a couple of years. You've done some job experience, work experience, and then you've decided that yes, I would like to go to France. We have different offices in India. So I don't think it's this code, but we have a list of offices where we are based and who you can contact. So in the future, even if you get transferred from Kerala to another state like Maharashtra or Telangana, we have offices to help you. You don't have to worry about that. This is actually the last slide. I don't have anything else to show you. Bachelor students are still here? Bachelors? Okay. For bachelor students, I just wanted to inform you about this. I hope you can see this. This is Classes International. This is basically a program. It is an initiative by the French Embassy. This is for bachelor students only, for students who are going from high school to bachelor's level. This will allow you to learn French in France. So basically, like I mentioned, bachelor's programs are usually for 3 years. However, as part of this program, you will do a foundation level, which will be a bit about French language classes as well as your core subjects, in order to equip you to become a fluent speaker by the time you reach the end of this program. Okay? The deadline to apply for this is 31st March. If you are interested, please approach us at the Campus France desk. Other important points that I wanted to mention since I finished the presentation is, for your application, generally institutions will request for, if you are applying for masters, they will request you for your 12th certificate. your undergraduate certificates, your SOP. Do you know what SOP is? Statement of purpose. LOR, letter of recommendation, and your passport is required, of course. And your basically some institutions might require work experience, but you really need to check with them. Sometimes students ask us if they should give the GRE, GMAT, IELTS, TOEFL's exam. You've heard of these exams, right? It's not mandatory as such, okay? Why is it not mandatory? Because you have to check with the institution. An institution might have this as a mandatory requirement, another one might not have. So you have to check. If they require GRE, GMAT, IELTS, TOEFL. IELTS, TOEFL, PTE, Pearson's Test of English, and Duolingo is basically English proficiency tests. GRE and GMAT is your aptitude tests. Okay, they're very different in nature. Both of these type of tests are not mandatory. You have to first check with the institutions. And for bachelor's degrees, very straightforward, 10th, 12th, SOP, sometimes LORs, you can get it from your class teachers, etc. And your SOP, your motivation letter, of course. You apply, and once you get the admit letter, you start the visa process. Do you have any questions as of now? Any questions? If you're outspoken enough. Okay, if you're feeling hesitant to ask a question in front of everyone, you can speak to me here after the session, or you can even come to the Campus France desk, okay? What I would advise you to do is, right now, from this session, you have a basic understanding of what to expect in France. So now your second job, your second point would be to visit the institutions who are here, find out what are the type of programs they have, what is the deadline to apply, deadline is very important, and what is the eligibility criteria, okay? Other details you can find out like scholarship, do they have hostel accommodation, etc., etc. Does that sound good? Otherwise, if you have any questions right now which you think will help everyone, please feel free to ask. Any questions at all? No? Okay. Well, I hope that this session has been informative, that you have at least now a foundation level understanding of higher education in France. For any specific further questions, please approach us. I'm here for a couple of minutes before the next session starts, or we have a Campus France desk as well. Thank you.
Yes. എന്തെങ്കിലും ചോദ്യങ്ങൾ മലയാളത്തിലാണെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ചോദിക്കാം, നമുക്കത് ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് കൊടുക്കാം. എന്തെങ്കിലും ചോദ്യങ്ങളുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ചോദിക്കാം, ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് 1-on-1 ഇൻട്രാക്ഷന് പോകാം.
I will wait here for a couple of minutes. If you're feeling hesitant to ask in front of everyone, I'll be here for a couple of minutes.
Ma'am, there is a question whether PhD related scholarships, what are the scopes? PhD research related.
Oh, yes, we do have PhD scholarships. When you go to the Campus France desk, there are 2 leaflets you should pick up, okay, which is for PhD research only. You just ask my colleagues, they will give it to you. There are 2 leaflets. It's like purple color, pinkish color. Please take that. That is for PhD students who want to do research. We do have scholarships for that. Okay? Yes. Well, thank you so much. Merci beaucoup. And have a great day.
Thank you, ma'am. That was such an informative session. You have incredibly cleared all our doubts. All the students are now welcome to room number 101, first floor, main building of Alphonsa College. There will be a very informative session on Choose France 2, led by Mr. Sebastian and Ms. Grishma, which will help you to meet the delegates of French Embassy or various universities. Most welcome. Also, food and snacks is available in college canteen, right side of college building. A food stall also welcomes you with delicious snacks. Have a nice day.
കട്ട് ചെയ്തോ, ഞാൻ ഫ്രെയിം മാറ്റാണ്.